to another eDesign Codemakers tutorial for web design. In this video, we're going to focus on learning how to create cascading style sheets, or CSS sheets. So let's get started. One of the things that you should know before going on to CSS is understanding web pages and HTML. Because when we use CSS, we look at very specific elements within your HTML page and make sure that we can style them the way that we want to style them. The website that we're going to use is w3schools.com. Again, as with the HTML, there's specific web technologies that just work really well for creating websites, and w3schools.com has the best reference for those. Let's dig a little bit deeper into CSS and see what are the certain things that we need to know in order to start making our page look a little fancier than a typical HTML page. One of the things I'm going to mention is the CSS selector. The CSS selector is really important because this is how you select certain elements within your web page and start formatting them the way that you want them. As you can see, within CSS, you can select very basic HTML tags just by their symbol, such as a paragraph tag. Something that's really important, and one thing we touched on with the div tags, is an ID selector. Within your HTML, if you set an ID with the ID equals tag, what you can do is then use the hashtag with the ID in order to select that specific location within your web page and change the attributes that you want to change. Other things that you need to take a look at is the CSS box model. The CSS box model is really important because it helps you understand how web pages, and modern web pages specifically, are getting formatted. They use things such as the content, padding, border, and margin. Content is basically anything that you want, from images to text. The padding is something that has a gap between that and the border. The border is basically your coloring around either your picture or your text. And then there's the margin, which is just extra padding on the outside. The reason why the box model is important is because that's how content is displayed on most web pages. When HTML pages were first being created, they used something called tables and broke it up into something that looks like an Excel spreadsheet. You just couldn't see the borders. Now we use CSS and div tags in order to create the same type of thing, but with more flexibility. The nice thing with CSS pages is we can go between different sites for your desktop and your mobile devices very quickly and very easily. The box model really helps in doing that. I encourage you to explore the other CSS options that are here, especially when you can go specifically into the margin and padding and other options around this box model. That's everything around the CSS tutorial video that we have for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this eDesign Codemaker video for web design.